You've been told the wrong things. If you're a woman trying to lose weight, chances are you've been following advice that doesn't actually work for you. You've been told to eat less, do more cardio, avoid carbs, maybe even fast for 18 hours a day. And still, the scale barely moves. You feel exhausted, you're frustrated, and you're stuck. The truth? It's not your fault. You've been fed outdated, overly restrictive advice for years. But the good news is that you don't need to starve yourself or grind out hours of cardio to see results. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what works for women without the fluff and without the hype. We are going to cover smart, sustainable fasting, why lifting weights is one of the best things that you can do and why it won't make you bulky, how to actually eat for fat loss, and which supplements can give you a real edge if you're doing the work and still not seeing the change that you want. You're going to want to stay tuned to the end because I've got a nice special bonus for you. I think you're really going to like it. I've worked with so many women, smart, driven, hardworking women who have been trying to lose weight for years. They're doing everything that they were told to do. They're going hard on the treadmill every single morning. They're cutting carbs completely, and they're scared to lift weights because someone told them that it would make them look bulky. And yet, despite all that effort, they don't feel better, they're not leaner, and they're stuck. So what's happening here? The approach is broken because what that plan actually does is this. It slows down your metabolism. It shrinks your muscle mass, which lowers the number of calories your body burns naturally. It raises your cortisol, which causes your body to store more fat, especially around your belly. You end up tired, craving sugar, with your body holding on to every ounce of fat for dear life. And this isn't about willpower, it's about biology. Sometimes that plan might show quick results in the beginning, but in the long term, it does more harm than good. And simply put, it's not sustainable. So let's talk about what actually works. Let's start with fasting. I want to talk about this because it's everywhere right now. I want to give you this information so you can determine if this is the right approach for you or not. Like I was saying, everyone's doing intermittent fasting. And yes, it works for a lot of people. But here's what a lot of people won't say out loud. Women don't always respond to fasting the same way that men do. When women fast for too long, especially during the luteal phase, which is the week before your period, cortisol can spike. And what does elevated cortisol do? You may know this if you've watched my other videos. It can increase belly fat storage. It can disrupt your sleep. It can slow your fat burning. So if you've been doing fasting for 16 or 18 hours and you're feeling worse instead of better, this could be why. Here's what works better for most women. Fasting anywhere for 12 up to 16 hours a day. You need to find your sweet spot with this. This still gives your body time to properly use insulin, reduce inflammation, and access stored fat. You may want to skip fasting during your luteal phase. Your body's more stressed and needs more nourishment in that time. Break your fast with protein and healthy fats, not carbohydrates. Consider a protein smoothie with nut butter or eggs with avocado. This will help keep your blood sugar stable and optimize your fat burning pathways. There can be great utility in intermittent fasting. It just might require a slightly different approach for women. Remember, fasting is a tool, but if you're using it in a way that leaves you tired, bloated, and irritable, it's probably not helping. Incorporate fasting wisely, and it can absolutely accelerate your results. Learning to listen to your body will make all the difference in the world. Okay, now let's talk about one of the biggest myths in women's fitness. And this is one of my favorite things to talk about. Lifting weights will not make you bulky. I will shout this from the rooftops. I want to make this as clear as possible. It is simply not true. Those women that you see on the magazines or TV shows with tight, toned, sculpted bodies, the ones that you admire so much, almost all of them are lifting weights. And I'm not talking about the 2-pound arm circles, okay? They are lifting heavy weights. Women simply do not produce enough testosterone to build large, bulky muscle mass the same way that men do. But you know what strength training does do? It builds lean muscle mass. It boosts your metabolism because muscle burns more calories at rest. It improves insulin sensitivity, making it easier to burn fat. And it shapes your body in a way that cardio never will. Cardio has its place, but if you want long-term fat loss, hormonal balance, and a healthy metabolism, you need to be strength training. So what works best? 3 to 4 days a week of full body resistance training. Even 2 to 3 days of heavy lifting is very reasonable. Focus on compound lifts, squats, lunges, deadlifts, rows, presses. Challenge yourself with progressive overload, which is just adding more resistance over time. And no, you won't get bulky. You'll get strong, you'll get toned, and you'll look and feel better than ever. And let me give you a little secret. This is incredibly practical advice. If you don't know where to find a good resistance training workout plan, ask ChatGPT. I know, crazy for me to say that, but it's free and it's really good. Now I want to talk about something really important. Most women are under eating protein and over snacking on carbohydrates. If you want to burn fat and support your hormones, your meals need to look something like this. Protein first. Aim for around 25 to 30 grams per meal. That's 4 to 6 ounces of chicken, salmon, or eggs. You can also do some Greek yogurt or protein shakes. Try not to live off protein shakes. They can be an excellent thing to add on after a workout, but don't try to use it as a meal replacement every single time. Quality whole foods are really important. You also need healthy fats. This can include avocados, nuts, olive oil, and salmon. Low glycemic carbs. This is like sweet potatoes, berries, or quinoa. Be sure to wash your quinoa before you eat it. If you don't listen to me on that one, don't get mad at me when you have diarrhea. You also need to be optimizing your fiber intake. This is green cruciferous vegetables and legumes. You don't have to count every calorie. Just focus on structure. I also want you to pair your nutrition with walking. Walking is one of the most underrated fat loss tools that we have. Aim for around 15 minutes after meals or 8,000 to 12,000 steps a day if possible. If you're really walking for fat loss, minimum of 10 to 15,000 steps. Depending on how active you are throughout the day, this could be a 15 or 30 minute walk in the evenings. This simple habit can transform your results, especially if you've hit a plateau. Before we get into supplements, I want to address something critical, especially if you've been cutting calories and not seeing results. There's a study published in JAMA by Dr. David Ludwig and Dr. Mark Friedman that really flipped the script on the idea of eating for weight loss. What they argue is this: overeating might not be the cause of obesity, it might be the result. Let me say that again. We've been told that we gain fat because we eat too much. But this paper makes the case that metabolic dysfunction and the way we process food may actually cause fat gain first, and then our body increases hunger and lowers energy to compensate. So what does this mean in real life? It means that if your body is hormonally stuck in fat storage mode, especially due to high insulin, inflammation, and constant blood sugar swings, then cutting calories might just make you hungrier, more tired, and more likely to binge later. I'm not saying there isn't any utility in calorie restriction. There certainly is. What I'm saying is the quality of the calories are very important. There's actually a lot more to this study and it's really fascinating, so I'll link it below for you. So what do we do with all this information? Well, one, we stop obsessing over calories and focus on metabolic quality. That means stabilizing blood sugar, eating lower glycemic foods, prioritizing protein and fiber, and I cannot stress that enough, and reducing refined carbs and added sugars. These strategies help your body switch from fat storage mode to fat burning mode without feeling like you're starving all the time. Now, you're doing all of these things right, but you want a little extra boost. This is where supplements can come in. I've talked about this in other videos. There is a whole host of supplements out there that claim they can benefit weight loss. The reality is, the majority of them are crap. I work with patients on weight loss all the time, and I do it in a very holistic manner. Two supplements that I recommend often in my practice are, first, Adapromin. It's a blend of turmeric, moringa, and curry leaf. It helps reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and support healthy fat metabolism. The next one is called Control by a brand called Infiniwell. And yes, that's actually the name of the supplement. This supplement combines ingredients like dihydroberberine and bittermelon. It activates AMPK, your body's fat burning switch. This stimulates brown fat and thermogenesis. It also supports better glucose control. I want to reiterate, they will not make up for a horrible lifestyle. And as a nice added bonus, if you want to try them, I'm offering 15% off to anyone watching this video. Just shoot me a DM or drop a comment and I'm happy to get you set up. The supplement market is overpriced and I'm doing everything I can to try to fix that. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Weight loss for women doesn't have to be extreme. You don't need to starve. You don't need to fear food. You don't need to avoid weights or do endless cardio. What you need is a smarter, sustainable plan. Strength training 2 to 4 times per week. Walk after meals. Eat protein, whole foods, and fiber. Use strategic fasting, not excessive. Overall, you need to support your body with the right tools when you need them. You're not broken. You've just been misinformed. If this helped you, please hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your biggest challenge has been with weight loss. I'd love to help however I can. And as always, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.